Good morning. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, universe. Happy Monday. What's today? July the 11th. Good morning, and good morning. And hello, and good morning, beautiful learning to love myself. How are you, sunshine? I hope everybody had a good weekend, whether you are live or on the replay. Learning. Can you let me know if you can hear me clearly? I was editing my individual uploads. I don't listen to my lives on replay typically. But when I was editing my Seeing Beautiful again from last week, it was all sounding really muffled and it was driving me crazy. And I fixed it as best as I could, but it was really muffled. So let me know if I'm muffled or not. If I don't see anything in the chat, I just assume that I'm not muffled. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I would like to pat myself on the back. I did not buy any diet Pepsi this weekend when I went to the grocery store. And I didn't buy my son any Fago Pop. I bought him the sugar-free Gatorade. My daughter let me know yesterday that she went in my refrigerator looking for Diet Pepsi. And she was like, well, where's the Diet Pepsi? Because I keep it in my refrigerator. I was like, girl, we're trying to do better. We gotta eat to live longer and healthier. So, all right, I don't see anything about the volume or anything, and I am going to get started. We are supposed to get through this entire next section, but it is lengthy. So I don't know that we are going to finish this entire section because I only have about an hour or so. But once I reach that hour, wherever we stop is where we stop, and I'll start there again next Monday. We are in the book Gentlewoman, Etiquette for a Lady from a Gentleman. The author's name is Enitan O. Bereola II. We are starting with the Interlude, and these are the 10 Commandments. 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not judge others by which thou do not possess thyself. If your only means of transportation are your Nikes, be ye not concerned with the model or make of a man's vehicle. Be not shallow if you don't have a pool. His second commandment. If you decide to be with a bad boy, you have no right to complain when he does bad boy things to you. Therefore, I say, if a man is not macho enough for you, date a terrorist and let us know how that works out. He just talked to me. When he talked to my 37, 24, 24 to 30. That was her. I'm not her no more. Commandment 3. Thou shalt cultivate diverse, valuable friendships. 4. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are indeed in the wrong room. We have talked about that in our mindfulness journey together. Y'all already know. Please surround yourself with people who can pour into you and knowledge. Because if you know everything and you ain't never wrong about nothing, child, you ain't really got nothing. His fourth commandment, thou shalt manage expectations. If you wouldn't put a dollar bill into a broken vending machine, why would you give your all to a man who never gives you anything in return? Art thou not worth more than $1 and some Doritos? Possessing intellect serves no purpose if it is abandoned in moments that matter most. Why wilt thou throw away logic in relationships when thou value it in every other area of thy life? Common sense is thy heart's condom. Don't go unprotected. So far, I'm agreeing with his commandment. All right, this is commandment 5. Thou shalt not offer the least and expect the most. I declare it is illegal to demand a man be 6 feet, make 6 figures, and have a six pack if you have bad feet, no figure, and drink 6 packs. For I say unto you, until you meet your own checklist, please put the pen and paper down post haste. Commandment 6. Thou shalt not pretend to be a single man's wife. Thy boyfriend is not thy husband. Giving marriage privileges to a boyfriend is like giving an intern the CEO's salary. Thou art paying full price for partial services. You know what this reminds me of? That there's a young lady who she went viral for talking about, I think she's on Sham Body YouTube, and she was talking about her superpower was how she caters to her man, not her husband, her man. And I think this is what exactly what she's talking about. And then she talks, I'm not about to get into that one. This that's her job. I'm not here to judge her job. I judge my past, I'm going from here. But hey, thou shalt not pretend to be a single man's wife. Thy boyfriend is not thy husband. Giving marriage privileges to a boyfriend is like giving an intern the CEO's salary. Thou art paying full price for partial service. I don't even know which one we on now. Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Commandment 7. Okay, that's right. Thou shalt not chase. When you chase a man, he is running from you. Eat that truth and swallow the reality. If thirsty, help thyself to a glass of dignity. Bon appetit. I will not undertake this weekend. And this man, I don't really know him. We're getting to know each other, I suppose. But my version of dating is you are not privy access to me, not to all of you, but getting to know each other. So when we were at dinner, it was something. He was like, "Who hurt you?" I said, "What do you mean who hurt you?" He was like, "Well, you're really guarded." I said, "This is the second time I've been out with you. What? Tell me what your expectation of the second date looks like. Like, what does that mean? I'm really guarded. I don't know you. How should I be? What do you expect? Like, should I be in love with you already? Like, should we be kissing, holding hands? Like, I don't help me understand." And he was like, "No, that's not what I'm saying." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. You want somebody to be all over you. I am not her." Hey, Gordo Popping. Good morning, sunshine. It's good to see you here. I hope you have a blessed day. Because I know you ain't going to stay. You be in and out, boo. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you and I love you. I hope you had a good weekend, too. I couldn't tune into your channel this weekend, child. It was too much on the weekend. I'll be there today. I love listening in to the mess. I don't know how I don't understand most of it, but I enjoy it. All right. Commandment 8. Thou shalt not say all men are the same. Thou shalt say thou date the same type of men. To suggest all men are the same is to suggest God lacks creativity. I agree with that. I stopped talking about men in that general aspect, and I started looking at myself like, why do I keep attracting all of these dusties? It's me. It's something that I'm doing. Child. Greta says I work overnight. I just be in the bushes listening. I know, and then I love it. I listen. I don't be understanding most of it, Greta, but I be there I be trying to catch up and pay attention. All right. Commandment number 9, thou shalt pay attention. Intellect is free, but ignorance will cost you. And then commandment 10, thou shalt not search elsewhere for what already exists within. The first greatest love thou wilt find is God. The second greatest love thou wilt find is in the mirror. Enjoy the view. Kendrick Lamar has a song called Count Me Out, and he is literally talking about himself. He says, "I love it when you count me out." And he's talking about himself. Like, you count yourself out. Stop doing that. The second greatest love thou will find is in the mirror. Enjoy the view. All right. Pleasantries. Gentlewoman law. Rules, rules, rules. Haven't you had enough? Can't you just be left alone and live the life you want to live? Of course. But keep my mantra in mind. Disobeying life's little rule can result in big consequences. Only God can judge me is no longer an excuse for bad behavior. Listen, you're not just talking to women. You're talking to everybody on this because YouTube, listen, YouTube is the only place where people come in and be like, I can can do whatever I want on YouTube because only God can judge me. No, ma'am. No, sir. None of those things. Stop it. They say only rebels reject rules, but many old rules need to be broken. Unfortunately, society is pushing the limit with how many rules it can shatter. Fortunately, not all broken laws warrant arrest. Self-expression is a beautiful freedom and shouldn't be regulated as long as it's not invading another's personal space. So don't overdose on freedom. Not every action is okay. Sometimes you affect others negatively, and freedom won't justify your behavior. Yes, you're free to walk around with offensive breath, but you shouldn't. Mints are free in glass bowls at every front desk in a restaurant near you. Look next to the toothpick. While we have established the need for gentle women in our culture, the practices of the well-mannered lady are firmly rooted in comfortable and natural behavior. At any time, if it doesn't feel right, you're just not doing it right. Open up this book, turn to this section, and try again. In this chapter, we will examine codes of conduct for your consideration and most of all, for you to apply and repeat with confidence and ease. These rules aren't put in place to blindly obey. Think about each rule and how it applies to your life or the lives of others. Use these tools to rebuild what's broken and build upon what's already beautiful. The unwritten laws of the Society of Gentle Women are as follows. All right, y'all. I haven't read this in a long time, so don't hit me with tomatoes if this is some malarkey, but let's see. Rule number one, a woman who knows her worth is a damn powerful woman. Figure it out. Now, I have no idea where rule number two went to, so he goes to rule number three. Yeah, okay. Rule number three. We just skipped over two. I don't know where two went. It's just not here. Rule number three, kindness. It can turn a frown upside down, an attempted suicide to life, and a hater to a lover. Plus, it's free. It might cost you your ego, but you've thrown that away when you picked up this book. Being friendly, generous, and considerate is underrated. Regardless of your position in life, your accolades, or your wealth, how you treat people is what they'll remember. Joseph Joubert said, part of kindness consists in loving people more than they deserve. There will be countless opportunities for you to be rude, but instead be kind. This deed shows you're in control of your emotions. Be kind to people. You never know whom you're talking to. There have been many times I've treated strangers kindly and didn't have to. It just so happens that I've run into many of those same strangers later in life, and the tables were turned. They were now in the position to help me out. That's how life works. Be warm hearted, show compassion and gentleness, but don't let your kindness be taken for weakness. Stand up for any injustice. Just don't treat others with that same injustice. Be kind to all, even those ugly on the inside. They're likely going through pain that has nothing to do with you. Acting nice is deceptive. Being nice is beautiful. Be beautiful. Random acts of kindness. Have you ever reached for your purse to pay a bridge toll only for the toll collector to tell you the debt has already been paid? No. Okay, have you waited in line at a Starbucks to get your typical morning tall, half skinny, half 1%, extra hot, two shots decaf, two shots regular latte with extra whip, but the stranger ahead ordered it for you already and paid? Not likely. It doesn't seem to cross the average mind to look out for a neighbor if we don't know them. We don't owe them. It seems most people don't genuinely care about anyone outside of their immediate family and friends. If it's a good day, you might toss a persistent panhandler with a creative cardboard and crumpled cash, but that's about it. Selfishness is an interesting concept because the way we treat others is, in fact, the way we are treating ourselves. How? Well, everything comes back full circle, and what we put out eventually comes back to us. All of it. Yes, even that that very thing you just thought of that you thought you were in the clear for. Hopefully, this prompts you to do better for people than you would like them to do for you. You're doing for you when you do for them, after all. Good things come to those who do well. Giving gets bad PR. People cling onto their possessions and ideas. Death is a friendly reminder that we don't truly own anything. Don't you know you can't have a good relationship unless you're giving? You can't properly raise children unless you're giving. You can't work a job unless you're giving. The world operates on the basis of giving. You get what you give. Selflessness doesn't sound so bad after all, does it? What costs you the least usually produces the greatest benefit. A small compliment can save a life. A short prayer can save a soul. Random acts of kindness are tragically uncommon. Buying someone a drink should come without expectations. We just said that the other day when we talked about Alan at the pool buying me that drink. And child, listen, my man must serve. Good morning, happy all day. Good to have you here, sis. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for tuning in and listening. I hope you have a blessed day today and have a good day at work. I appreciate you. Remember, there's no such thing as a small act of kindness. Every act creates a ripple with no logical end. Got Adam. Let's have some fun. I challenge you to pay it forward. Do something greater than you for someone other than you. It's not everyone's job to stay out of your way. It's your job to react in love. It took me 3 years to deliver this book to you. The least you can do is pay for the complicated latte at the of the next person in line at Starbucks. Extra whip, please. Above all, love each other deeply because love covers over a multitude of sins. 1 Peter 4 and 8. Rule number 5. Chivalry is for ladies too. Chivalry is a term often debated and sometimes hated with a meaning no one seems to agree upon. Historically, chivalry originated between the 11th and 15th centuries as a knight's moral code to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. Those people were children, elders, and widows. The definition has since dropped its original intent and simply means the respect and honor of women. However, there are some women who view chivalry as an insult. When looking at its original definition coupled with its current meaning, it might seem that chivalry is indeed suggesting women are helpless and dependent on men. And that's where the problem lies. Chivalry was originally intended for babies, kids, old people, and women whose husbands had died. During this period, most husbands were the sole providers for their families, and if they perished, assistance was needed. People are mixing one part of the old definition with another part of the current one. We know women are capable of the same life skills as men. Chivalry isn't about male dominance. In the 21st century, chivalry should just mean honoring the opposite sex. In relationships, chivalry shows a mutual respect for your partner. In everyday life, chivalry strengthens men and women's relations. Whether or not you believe in gender roles, they shouldn't shape social norms around courteous behavior. Holding open doors today is more about courtesy and less about helping the defenseless. Courteous behavior isn't limited to men. Chivalry is for ladies too. Here are 8 easy ways a lady can be chivalrous. Massages after a long day is chivalrous. After a after we open your car door and let you in, lean over and push the driver's side door open. It's a literal thank you, a reciprocating gesture that shows equal respect. That's good chivalry. Now, see, I don't agree with that one, only because the automatics on the door. There was a movie though, and one of the tests was for the girl to open up the door. Was it Carlito's Way? I think it was. winner because after he opened the door and let her into the car, she leaned over and opened the door for him to get in. And he knew he was going to keep her because of that chivalrous act. My only thing is that's when doors used to weigh like 1,000 pounds and there wasn't no automatic lock. I don't know. But I guess, ladies, if you want to be chivalrous to a man, once he opens your car door and lets you in and you sit down, go ahead and push that door open for him. All right, next. If you're on the driver's side and we pump your gas, wait until we walk around to the passenger side of the car before you start the engine so exhaust fumes don't get all over us. That's different. Now that's interesting. That's really bad. That's good. When it's cold and we offer you our jacket, offer us the scarf or a hug to keep us warm. Very chivalrous. Calling to see if you can pick up anything to eat on the way home after we've had a long day is a display of chivalry. If he's been a great partner in the relationship, take him out on a date and attempt to pay. That's chivalrous. I told y'all I went on a date the other day. I paid for the date. Why did I pay for the date? I paid for the date because I'm not sure if I actually like this guy that's trying to date me, and I don't want him to think that I owe him anything. So I offered to pay for the date, and when the check came, he was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "I'm positive." He doesn't know why I paid for it, but there's a part of me that I don't mind paying for stuff only because I'm not married. And if I was married, I still would because it's our money at that time. But I don't want any man to feel like he owns me or that I owe him anything. Men these days are different. They're built different, I think. And I don't know if it's different or it's just because we have so much more social media, but yeah, I offered to share my page. Like I said, that was my second date. So I'm not looking for somebody to just feed me. I can feed myself. I want to know if I actually like to care about you. But so far, mhm. All right, learning is saying good morning to Happy and everybody's in the left support. All right, let's keep going. Offering to do the dishes after we cook is a sign of chivalry. Wow, that's a good dish. If a stranger is struggling for the door, prop it open. Man or woman, get the point. I believe in that for sure. Chivalry in public means nothing when there's a lack of respect in private. Answer, luck. Chivalry isn't for applause, but when someone displays an honorable gesture toward another, a signal of appreciation is warranted, though it's not required. A simple thank you is common practice. If you believe the golden rule is to treat others better than you want to be treated, you can take it a step further by reciprocating with a kinder action. There are many things expected of us as gentlemen, and we work hard to provide. We're not looking for praise. Just don't underestimate the value of a thank you or a reciprocated gesture. Paraphrase, Galatians 6 and 7 says, a man or a woman reaps what he or she sows. Therefore, if you require chivalry, then be chivalrous. Chivalry isn't intended to demean. Chivalry is a display of love designed to demonstrate admiration and faith in humankind. We understand you can hold your own door, but we hold open doors because we honor you. It's entirely natural for a man to want to protect those he loves. Feminism is about equality. Equality is about being able to make a choice. Being a lady of choice means you get to make it. Whether a gentlewoman chooses to have a career or stay at home with the kids, she's the one who makes that decision. A contemporary gentlewoman proud of the inability to cook or clean is ridiculous. Being domestic isn't a duty, but not knowing how to take care of yourself or others is a disgrace. If you don't care to be domestic, that's your choice. If another lady loves being domestic, that's her choice. The same women who fought for her to have a choice should never critique her about her decisions. Sometimes the main people setting you back can be your own. Chivalry is simply courteous behavior. Historically, it has been courteous behavior, specifically geared ladies too. Chivalry involves courting, but extends beyond the boundaries of dating. Chivalry is a way of life. It shows a world that doesn't give a damn that you do. You don't have to agree. As long as the conversation is created and the people are talking, my job here is done. Rule number 7. A successful lady who wants a successful man isn't a gold digger. She's smart. I'm going to read that one again for the people that so, you know, that's the, we don't read this one. A successful lady who wants a successful man isn't a gold digger. She's smart. Ironically, those most concerned about gold diggers have no gold to be dug. The reality is, not every woman who wants a fancy meal is a gold digger, and not every man who refuses to fund that meal is broke. The real issue is if you love him for who he is, despite what he has at the moment. We all deserve what we offer and have the real potential to offer. Rule number 9. You can't judge a man by his shoes. Billionaire Steve Jobs wore New Balances and Jesus wore sandals. If Mr. Right is right in front of you, you probably missed him because he has on the wrong shoes. It's all about perspective. And at a certain point, you must realize what's truly important. Classic gangsters wore suits. You can't judge a man by what he wears. We're all born naked. Fashion is just life's cool accessory. Don't get too caught up in the hype. Note, the urban sophisticate consumes goods that are subtle and not necessarily recognizable by the general public, but by those in the know. His possessions may not always look it, but they cost much more than the flashy man's bright suit and flashy shoes. Contemporary gentlemen prefer private pleasures to public pleasure and keep their personal portfolio privilege. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. So I've been working on that job. I am very visual and I'm learning that the guys, you can't change who people are, but you can help them go shopping good. You can help them get some new shoes, or, you know what I'm saying? So I've been working on that part of myself because I have been, I ain't gonna lie about my past. I ain't gonna lie. Rule number 11. When you make us work, the boys will fade and the gentlemen will remain. A lady hardest to get is the easiest to keep because working hard for something makes us appreciate it that much more. That takes me back to my date this weekend. You are asking me why my walls are up because you don't know me. Get to know me. Get to know me more. And let me tell y'all. So I believe in the red flags, right? I do have some red flags already, but I be trying to, think outside the box, give people a fair chance. I don't know if I told you this story. On the first day, I wanted to listen to something that I wanted to listen to, so I asked him to see his phone. We were in his truck. I asked him to see his phone so I could turn the music on to what I wanted to listen to. He got really nervous. I was like, what's wrong with you? He was like, well, I don't want you going through my phone. Don't nobody want to go through it. I'm not even interested in the phone. What are you talking about? I could care less about what's in your phone. I just want to go to the music app. Yes, that he has a whole lot of pictures of him in his phone on social media. My red flag, my antennas are up because that's strange behavior as far as that's like good. Like you don't have you know your pictures of him. That's weird. Maybe I think that's probably why I put it in a too because yeah, I don't want you to feel like I hold nothing in me. nothing that is, but I'm still trying to be open-minded. I really am. All right, let me start over. Rule number 11, when you make us work, the boys will fade and the gentlemen will remain. A lady hardest to get is the easiest to keep because working hard for something makes us appreciate it that much more. It's better when it's earned and more respected when it's sweated for. This isn't about being difficult because you can and you're cute. Who cares? So is she. It's about insisting that we put real effort in our pursuit because being hard to get is more about fully understanding your worth and refusing to settle, and less about some foolish game you're playing. Be hard to get. Don't play it. There's a difference. Figure it out. And when we earn you, honor us, and we'll forever honor you. This is a man talking to you, ladies. Rule number 13, manage entitlement. Your existence doesn't mean you're owed anything except love, life, and the pursuit of happiness. Anything extra is earned. You're entitled to what you struggle for. Stop expecting anyone to do for you what you're unwilling to do for yourself. Yes, you're God's gift to the world, but so are 7 billion others, meaning every single human being is God's gift to the world today. That's what people would be talking about. God don't play about me. God don't play about me, right? Listen, none of us. Rule number 15, texting isn't courting. Everyday text messaging isn't a real relationship. You two are just pen pals. People need affection. People need feelings. People need hugs. People need people in real life. Let's get back to basics, people. Rule number 17, nonviolence. A lady isn't interested in violence. It's okay to admit hurt. It's not okay to retaliate. Resolve that pain instead of acting on it. You're allowed to be upset about injustice. Go ahead and be angry. You do well to be angry, but don't use your anger as fuel for revenge. And don't stay angry. Don't go to bed angry. Don't give evil that kind of foothold in your life. What's the point in beating the bullies if you just take their place? I'm saying it one more time for the people, especially if you don't forget and really say, you guys are really violent on this free app. You are verbally violent to each other. You guys get into it. You just are violent to each other. What is the point in beating the bully when you become a bully yourself? There are some content creators on this free app that claim they are against bullying. They claim they want better for us as a community, as a YouTube community. Yet they turn into the very thing that they claim they despise. They turn into the very thing they claim that they are against. We all need to do that. Rule number 19. Don't be with him unless you be proud to have a son exactly like him. And while you're at it, be the woman you want your daughter to be and the lady you want your son to date. Rule number 21. Consideration. Thoughtfulness and sensitivity for others are the core points of what being a gentlewoman is all about. It's not always about you. If you order to go food over the phone and something comes up, call to cancel the order. You'd be surprised at how many people don't execute that simple gesture. If you work in customer service, always consider your customer and always give great service. This sounds like common sense, but common sense is uncommon. Don't bring crying babies to rated R movies. If you take out a pack of gum in front of others, offer them a piece. If you're not in a sharing mood, wait until you're alone to take it out. Or fake a yawn to put it in your mouth. Put yourself in others' shoes. Rule number 23. In a closet full of clothes, you say you have nothing to wear. Be that selective in a room full of men. A single lady who doesn't make men her primary focus will always have options. A single lady who thirsts for men will always be single. Men generally focus on women who focus on themselves. You don't choose love, you attract it. It's given freely. You don't have to beg or sell your soul for it. You just have to accept it. Note, you may feel like you offer a lot, but don't have many options. You will always have options. Whether or not you like your options is an entirely different story. You should never change your core standards, just your idea of how we think the manifestation of those standards look. Rule number 25, politeness. It's easy to be polite in the company of politeness. The real challenge is maintaining politeness in the company of an ass. Your mood should never dictate your manner. Rule number 27. Don't believe the hype that your standards are too high because you desire what you offer. Let me say that again. You can have high standards, ladies, but make sure that what your standards are, make sure you meet your own standards, basically. Rule number 27. Don't believe the hype that your standards are too high because you desire what you offer. Never allow lazy people with no goals and no ambition to convince you of this. Too many women without pets go home to dogs. Release the leash. If he complains about meeting your basic standards and can't notice a good woman in front of him, perhaps he'll notice when you're gone. Your standards don't mean you're picky. They just mean you know how to pick. You deserve a gentleman. Or perhaps you're in a space where you feel like you offer a lot but don't have a lot of options. Listen, you will always have options. Let your standards protect you and never grow weary in well doing. Your story might not be the same as the next woman, but your story is your story, and your story isn't over. When a woman is truly secure and ready for love, love will find her. You demand things with your words. You command them with your actions. Let your standards speak, and you won't have to say much. They'll already know. No, some women do have unrealistic standards. They face a world where those standards aren't met, so they settle and assume there aren't any good men based on results from searches under impractical pretenses. Don't be hurt, y'all. Don't settle. Rule 29, integrity. A gentle woman of integrity has a strong moral uprightness. She doesn't allow anyone or anything to compromise her core. Men can't control her morals, and money won't sway her. Money can be replaced, but integrity can't. Rule number 31. Never stop flirting with him, even if he's yours. The occasional inappropriate activity at an inappropriate place and an inappropriate time is entirely appropriate. Don't be so classy that you're not a little nasty. What Usher say? You want a lady in the street, but a freak in the bed. Was that Usher or was that who was that? Usher? I feel like it was. Rule 33, non-judgmental. The world is broken and incomplete along with the people in it. No one has arrived. No one is better than anyone else. No one is perfect. Nothing is guaranteed. We're all out here trying to make it. Pointing your finger at others results in three of your fingers pointing back at you. It's a beautifully ironic reminder to judge yourself before you judge them. It's a tragic world we live in where extortionists hate rapists and adulterers shun liars. They're all one and the same. Because I'm seeing people on YouTube try to be the YouTube police of other YouTubers to tell them what they're doing is right or wrong, if their behavior is this or that, or that the way they live their life is this and that. We are the same. We are all party. We are all short-minded human beings. We are all citizens of ourselves. There is no one that is greater than the other. Keep on putting out energy of condemnation for others. Please believe that energy is coming back to you. Just because you might not be out there being an asshole, people in your real life know who you are. You're an asshole in that part of your life. So you can keep YouTube policing other people. You need to police yourself. It's a tragic world we live in when extortionists, hate rapists, and adulterers shun liars. They're all one and the same. And if it weren't for grace, we'd all be judged the same. Matthew 7 and 3 says, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? When you make mistakes, you suffer the consequence and eventually move on. So why won't you provide that same grace to others? It's irresponsible to believe your own hype. You have skeletons in your closet too. The only difference between you and those you judge is your ability to deceive people into thinking you're perfect. You can learn something from those you condemn. Don't judge someone else because they sin differently than you. No sin is greater or lesser in the eyes of God. Rule 35, privacy. What is it that drives people to inquire about the personal affairs of others when it serves them no benefit? Is it an innate curiosity or more trivial matter of gossip that drives folks to involve themselves unnecessarily in business that isn't theirs? Perhaps it's a selfish desire for attention that provokes some to willingly give up all that's sacred, or clicks, or views, or Cash App, or PayPal, or Zelle, or just people. When people, I'm sorry, when made public, love rarely endures. Andreas Capellanus. Translated today, the statement above simply means if you let the world in your relationship, the world will end your relationship. This form of discretion doesn't mean keep your love life hidden in the dark. You're supposed to let your light shine. It means be wise about the information you share and with whom you share it with. Transparency serves its purpose when it benefits the lives of others. If it doesn't, then it isn't their business. On the other hand, being opaque is obscure and intentional, but allows no light in. So live translucently. A translucent light permits a percentage of light to pass through, depending on several variables, but isn't clearly see-through. In other words, living translucently lets you control who has access to your life, depending on your level of trust for them. Live a translucent life. Consistent bragging about how good your man is in bed might cause your girlfriend to try to find out for themselves. Learn to keep certain aspects of intimacy and your love life private, and your personal, financial. Keep it to yourself, keep it off of YouTube, and people need to stay out of people's real lives, in my opinion, allegedly on YouTube. A beautiful woman who lacks discretion is like a gold ring in a pig's snout. Proverbs 11 and 26. Rule 37. Morals. These are a gentlewoman's principles of right and wrong behavior. Morals define one's character. It's where the very thread of the cloth from which you're cut is woven. Put great thought into what you stand for and let your morals guide you. Never compromise them, never lose your values. When you forfeit your morals, you forfeit your soul. There's plenty of room to mess up, but always get back to virtue. Reflect on the woman you want to be and the legacy you want to leave. Rule 39. Happy. It's a choice. Happy people have mastered the art of happiness by controlling the way they respond to what life throws at them. The quicker you figure this out, the sooner you'll enjoy life. Oh, and if everyone's happy with you, you're doing something right. Rule 41. Compliments. Compliments are vintage, not that cool vintage that commands the respect of those both young and old, but that prehistoric vintage that smells old and seems outdated. Props to those who give props to those who deserve props because far too many treat compliments like a kiss by someone with aggressive breath. Hard to give. I can tell. Okay, wait, y'all. We have a lot of rules. I don't think we're going to get through all of the rules because we only have 15 minutes. So I am going to get through these next two pages and then we're going to pick up the trail. All right, so I finished with um, aggressive breath hard to give. It's necessary to acknowledge the greatness in others because flattery humbles both the giver and the receiver. Giving a compliment is simply stating the obvious with an expression of admiration. Admiration is part of the human spirit. We're supposed to feel good when others look good and do well. A compliment can turn a bad time into a perfect moment. It can even save the life of someone reconsidering living. When we think of it like that, maybe we'll be more generous giving others what they truly deserve. Love. However, there is such a thing as overdoing. Too many compliments can be an annoyance. Telling someone how great he or she looks 5 times in 5 minutes is aggressive and weird. Some compliments are inappropriate. Don't compliment a young lady for appearing older than she looks. And don't compliment another lady's clothes more than once. Use discernment. Rule 43. If you don't go on dates with the person you date, then you're not dating. And he put pretty simple, huh? It's pretty much. Rule 45, humility. Stay humble. Loud arrogance is quiet insecurity. Sexy hardly speaks, and greatness doesn't have to say it's great. So walk gently, leaving heavy footprints. Vanity is cheap concealer for the self-conscious. We see right through you. Having humility doesn't mean you shouldn't be your best. Look your best and do your best. Just keep it barely yes. That's his last name. I guess he's giving himself up. Rule 47. If you think being single sucks, it's because you do. When you can't stand your own company, no one else will either. Fall in love with yourself first. I totally agree with that. Honestly, everything that no one is saying needs to be said. There's a thin line between tact and tolerance. There's too much hypersensitivity and political correctness. A gentlewoman believes in acceptance, but she also believes in correction. She believes in tolerance, but she also believes in accountability. Not everyone is hating on you. Someone is telling you the truth, and the truth changes things. Not every word spoken requires an apology. And I'm going to stop it right here. So we are stopping at there's a section in here where he's calling this truth will always trump what you think. I'm going to put my post-it right here, and that is where we are going to start next week. So we are starting with truth will always trump what you think. And we have rules that take us to Yeah, so 89, and then it goes into, nope, 91. Then it goes into some other like tips and stuff. So yeah, we're gonna stop it there today because there's a lot more, and I'm sure we will be able to probably I'm gonna have to break this even into two more parts. So that is it for today. I want to thank everybody for being here with me live. If you aren't here live and you're catching the replay, let me know your thoughts about what Mr. Bereola is telling a gentlewoman how she should be and act and all of that. I love you guys. I hope you have a great week. If you have the time, I hope you can join me tomorrow when we get into our John Lewis across that bridge book. I appreciate you and I love you. Take care, y'all.